Welcome to the all-new Season 4 pitch-off of Greenlight Maine. Over 6 episodes, you'll watch our 13 semifinalists give it all they've got to earn their spot in the Greenlight Grand Finale and compete for the $100,000 cash prize. Now, let's meet our panel of judges. CJ Canay, MBA, President Canay Consulting. Dmitry Markovich, Assistant Professor of Marketing at the Business School of the University of Maine, Orono. Deb Newman, President of the Bangor Regional Chamber of Commerce. Skip Bates, Senior Vice President of Main Street Banking for Bangor Savings Bank. Marge Barker, Chapter Chair of SCORE Bangor. Dr. Brian Walton, CEO of the Acadia Capital Management Opportunity Zone Fund, will be our commentator this morning. And I'm your host, Julene Gervais. So let's get this pitch-off started.
This episode of Greenlight Maine is sponsored by the Maine Department of Economic and Community Development, helping businesses and communities prosper.
So True North Beauty started out of a need. I had turned 40 and my skin overnight went to a mess. And I really lost all of my confidence, and I knew I had to do something about that. What makes us different from all of the other skincare brands on the market today is our use of chaga. Chaga grows on birch trees. We have a patent pending that allows us to extract the properties found in chaga and incorporate it into lightweight oils and create rich emulsified creams.
Heather Locks from True North Beauty, welcome.
Thank you. The other day I had a customer reach out to me and she told me that she wasn't going to attend her high school reunion purely because of the way that she felt about her skin. That was until she tried our products. Not only did she go to that reunion, she walked in with confidence. Moments like that, that's my why. Hi, my name is Heather Lux and I'm the founder and CEO of True North Beauty. True North is an innovative skincare and lifestyle brand designed for those who refuse to sacrifice luxury at the expense of natural ingredients. We are pioneering the use of chaga in luxury skincare, and our patent-pending process allows us to extract the natural antioxidants, antimicrobial, and anti-inflammatory products found in chaga and incorporate them into lightweight oils and create rich, silky, emulsified creams. Additionally, our process allows us to safely and effectively preserve our products without introducing synthetic ingredients. We are the only company in the US using chaga this way. The company is led by myself and my co-founder and COO, Michael McGarry. I have spent the past 20 years working in sales and manufacturing organizations in the area of innovation, human resources, and organizational development. I have started up high-speed manufacturing facilities, turned around underperforming business units, and hired top talent. Michael served for 30 years in the US Navy, where he retired as a Master Chief, and he brings budgetary responsibility of over $3 billion annually and extensive experience in lean manufacturing.
One of the key factors in what an investor looks for in entrepreneurs is a great executive team. And this entrepreneur and this company has a great team that's leading them. Lots of experience, they understand the market, and they know how to do financials that will keep the company afloat.
So how did we get started? Shortly after turning 40, my skin changed dramatically, and this had a huge impact on my confidence. I had always loved luxury skincare, but a desire to lead a healthier lifestyle led me to try natural products. Although these products gave me the ingredients that I wanted, they did not give me the experience or the results that I wanted. Seeking the best of both worlds, I decided to create my own skincare. Around that same time, I found myself in my backyard around birch trees where I came across chaga mushroom growing. I instantly knew that I needed this powerful ingredient in my skincare. I also saw the business potential ahead of me. And so we started manufacturing, developing, and selling skincare 3 years ago. And just late last year, I left my full-time career to focus full-time on building True North Beauty into a nationally recognized brand. The timing is perfect. We are part of a newly emerging, rapidly growing category within the beauty industry that bridges the gap between traditional natural and luxury skincare brands. We differentiate ourselves from all of the other brands with our use of chaga.
Heather, I like how you described how your company differentiates itself from competitors. Now, my question is, what is your biggest marketing challenge today?
I think it's two things. One is reach, just purely getting my product into the hands of the consumer. We have a 60% retention rate. So we know that if we can get our product in the hands, they will become a lifelong customer. The other is educating our customers to understand the value of chaga. It's kind of strange looking, and even people in Maine don't know about chaga. So how do we help them to understand the power that's in this skincare?
Okay, that would be me. I never heard that word. It was like chaga?
Chaga.
What? So tell us more. What is that? And does it grows in your backyard?
It's a mushroom. It grows on birch trees, mostly yellow birch trees, but also white birch trees. It has the highest amount of antioxidants known in the world. So to put it in perspective, we've all been told blueberries, eat blueberries because of the antioxidant value, right? Chaga has 40 times the antioxidant value of blueberries. It's also a natural anti-inflammatory and a natural antimicrobial. So people have drank chaga in the form of tea and coffee for centuries all across the world. It grows, as I mentioned, on birch trees in cold, snowy climates. So they've consumed this for its medicinal powers. We've figured out how to extract the properties using our patent pending process to get the most out of every single value that it brings and incorporate it into a topically applicated product.
So I've got a follow-up to that.
Yes.
Where do you source it? How do you find it? Is there enough locally
That was my
to
question
fill your
as well.
needs?
It's a great question. So we figured out how to sustainably harvest it so that it does regenerate. So we're not able to go out and grow chaga on our own. We have to rely on Mother Nature to do that. But chaga is a lot more, has availability much larger than what a lot of people think. It's estimated that there is 2 pounds of chaga for every 1 acre of land. And if you think about it, here in Maine, we have about 20 million acres of forest. So it's available. The other piece is we have been very thoughtful and deliberate in our formulation process. We use every single ounce of chaga. Even our face polish, which is an exfoliant, uses the ground chaga to exfoliate the dry skin. We have enough harvested to take us through rapid expansion through 2020, and we harvest in the fall, so we're actually starting our fall harvest for 2021.
Can you tell us more about the business plan? How much have you sold to date, and what's your strategy?
Sure. So as I mentioned, we are 3 years old. We're just celebrating our 3rd birthday in October. So this year, we're projected to sell around $50,000. Our growth from 2016 to 2017 was about 300%. Our per order volume increased by 168%. And as I mentioned, our customer retention rate is 60% compared to the national average of 38% in the beauty industry.
What's your marketing strategy at 1, and 2, how do you plan to keep up with the market as you see it blooming?
Great question. So it has been grassroots. A lot of our customers have been word of mouth. What's really been exciting this year is last year I knew most of the customers and who they were related to the next layer out. This year, so many of our customers are customers that I can't track back their origin, which shows that we're growing. Much of that is through social media, also word of mouth. We're starting to leverage the relationship with influencers, which is incredibly important in this industry. Wholesale growth will also aid in not only just general sales and revenue, but it'll also help with us to grow the brand. And the last piece is we recognize that we need talent in this area. And so we would use the funds from Greenlight Maine to hire revenue generating business development professionals to help us perpetuate this out. We have a part-time marketing professional that works with us. The goal is to bring her on full time. We recognize that we are going to need to delegate a lot of this out, and we're very comfortable with it. Fortunately, I've worked in an industry of hiring talent, so I've already started searching for who that person is going to be. All that I need right now are the revenue figures to support that hire.
If you were doing all of this, in like cottage, in-house,
Yes.
Have you looked at, to support your growth, have you looked at outside manufacturing organizations within the U.S. or the vicinity who could take this over for you?
Candidly, a year ago, if you had asked me that question, I would say that I am ready to outsource my manufacturing. Over the past year, I've taken time to think that through a little bit more, and I'm not ready to outsource it for a couple of reasons. One is, between myself and my partner, we have manufacturing capability. We know how to lean process, we know how to run manufacturing facilities, so we have the capability. The other thing is the moment you outsource, of course, you lose profit margin. And so I really want to be thoughtful. The goal is to build True North Beauty into a brand that is acquired in the future. And so maintaining profit margin is incredibly important. The other piece is that we would have to figure out how to take our proprietary ingredient, chaga, and somehow get it to that manufacturing facility. Once you factor that in, the cost benefit really becomes insignificant.
That is also a good strategy. She needs to bring her manufacturing process in-house. The more that you contract out key services, the more at risk you are for losing your business. You have to rely on other people to do things that you need done. But once you bring it in-house, you can control the process and also the expenses and costs.
We anticipate within the next 12 months that we will be ready for a dedicated facility. We have a couple of places in mind already somewhat close to our area, and we've already started sourcing the talent to work in the manufacturing facilities. They don't know it yet, but we have our eyes on them.
Very nice.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Wonderful
much.
presentation. Thank
Yes,
you.
absolutely.
Great, thank you.
You were buying some while she was doing her
I'm just
presentation.
going to take all of this home. I'm just kidding. Go on, talk.
Okay, so how was
around.
that?
Oh, I thought you did a great job. I thought you did a
Yeah,
great
no, this
presentation.
I mean, it's billed as beauty products for women, but I like this stuff. So
Yeah.
I think her packaging is lovely. I looked at her price points online and compared it to some other products I'm familiar with that are sort of the same, similar, using like natural ingredients. And her price points are competitive without being ridiculously expensive. So she's done a nice job.
I
with that.
actually also think that she has the most evolved marketing strategy of the companies we've seen lately. She clearly understands differentiation, and she pointed out the unique aspects of the offering that she has.
she had the most comprehensive pitch yet.
Oh, that was a
she has
beautiful
plan.
pitch.
She has
She's
a partner
very
that offsets
yes.
a different set of skills.
Yeah.
She's got a growth concept, a test concept,
And they've been there,
exit
done
concept.
this kind of stuff before.
team
Not
was
the
key.
hair and skincare, but the business stuff. And I'll tell you, to be able to preserve a product for even 3 months without using a chemical preservative is quite the feat. If she's found a way to preserve a product for up to 3 years, that's unheard of.
I'm just amazed that you can take that bare product,
This ugly looking thing.
and make such a
It's
delightful.
beautiful in its own way.
Yeah,
Right?
I guess so. And what would make you even try it?
She had it in her
Fascinating.
backyard,
Yeah,
she
exactly. I mean, I got
I
birch
wouldn't
trees,
walk
and
out of my backyard and say,
I
oh my
no,
God, that
neither-
lump
no.
of,
But you know, the
So
other
that
thing
has
that
to
was
have- that
impressive
has-
about this, I thought, was her willingness and desire to control the manufacturing process.
Yeah.
Because, 90% of all hair and skincare that we all use, it's all manufactured by the same manufacturing companies dotted throughout the United States.
I thought you
Well
did a
said.
nice job.
Have a sniff of that. It's gonna make you happy. Oh my God. It's so good.
Oh, it does make me happy.
Yeah, not to rain on this parade, though, just as a caveat.
All right, okay, we need some rain. All right.
This is fashionable now, chaga, and there are other businesses springing up. I am a little bit concerned about supply of the raw ingredient because it has to be collected in the nature.
But they're
And so
growing their own.
Well, no, they're not growing their own. They collect out there, and it takes time for chaga to reproduce. And they have supply through 2020, but on a small base that they're selling. If they scale up rapidly, if they see an increase in sales, all of a sudden they may start struggling for the raw ingredient. It's just something to keep in mind.
I think you're on to another business, and that would be the agricultural production of chaga.
chaga.
I think you should
May
plant
well
some
be.
birch trees.
There we go.
May well be.
I think we all need to be planting birch trees.
For almost 25 years, Maine Biz has been providing business news, information, and analysis for business owners and C-level executives in Maine. From Fort Kent to Kittery, Maine Biz serves the decision makers of Maine across multiple channels, including its flagship print digital publication, website, events, daily report, real estate insider, and weekly newsletter. Let Maine Biz help your business succeed. Inform, engage, connect.
Reaching new customers online is hard. You've tried Facebook, Google Ads, email. You even built a website 10 years ago. You're way too busy to focus on digital marketing, and you're not getting results.
At Dream Local Digital, that's what we do. We've helped businesses nationwide grow with online marketing. We're the experts. Let us help you.
In 1972, Tom Moser committed his life's work to craft, and 4 decades later employs 70 fine craftsmen and women in our shop in Auburn, Maine. With showrooms and customers from coast to coast and numerous awards and accolades, Tom has firmly established himself as an entrepreneurial tour de force and has proven that a life doing what you love is indeed possible.
This year's winner of Greenlight Maine will win this handmade Thomas Moser beacon box and $100,000. For more information about the presenters and panelists on all the Greenlight Maine shows, visit greenlightmaine.com.
Ocean's Balance makes innovative seaweed products. There's a huge demand right now, more for domestic seaweed. It's also one of the hot food trends going on, and we think that with innovation, there's going to be a lot of room for growth.
Lisa Scally from Ocean's Balance. Please feel free to start when you're ready.
Do you know why Martha Stewart ranked seaweed the #1 food trend that's about to be everywhere? Because it's sustainable, delicious, and happens to be quite nutritious as well. Ocean's Balance was featured in that Martha Stewart article. Hi, I'm Lisa Scally, Director of Sales and Marketing for Ocean's Balance. We make innovative products that are changing the way people think about seaweed. We have a uniquely experienced team. One of my partners, Tolliff Olson, started the first commercial seaweed farms in the United States and founded Bangs Island Mussels and Ocean Approved. My other partner, Mitchell Lench, has built agriculture and aquaculture companies and managed risk for Bank of America and Credit Suisse. I have a solid track record in business development, and I happen to be a true foodie who loves to innovate. Ocean's Balance started 18 months ago with one groundbreaking product, kelp puree, a shelf-stable, ready-to-use ingredient. We worked out of an 850 square foot processing facility and marketed locally, going from store to store in New England. From there, we developed regional distribution relationships and got our product placed in over 100 stores along the East Coast. Now we work with national distributors and national chains. We've recently launched 9 new products that have been very well received. We've outgrown our old processing facility and moved into a new purpose-built 3,000 square foot facility in Biddeford. And our revenues are on track to more than double from the first half of 2018 to the second. And we've done all of that without any outside investors. Today's global edible seaweed market is $7 billion and is forecast to grow to $12 billion by 2022.
Just to place the potential market size into perspective, to grow to 12 billion in essentially 2 years, it's almost double the current capacity right now. So that is a huge explosion in growth over the next 2 years for edible seaweed.
Now, as we said, seaweed has become very popular, but the reality is 98% of the seaweed that Americans eat is imported from Asia. Growing conditions do not compare to the pristine waters of the Gulf of Maine. Part of our mission is to help people understand that not all seaweed is alike, and to reduce our carbon footprint by promoting domestic Maine seaweed. We have a first-rate nursery, farming, and harvesting operation to ensure adequate supply of raw product, but we're keenly focused on creating value-added products and building a strong national brand, rather than just selling bulk seaweed at low margins. Our retailers have told us that our seasoning product, Seaweed Sprinkles, is the best format they've seen for introducing Maine seaweed to consumers. And we'll soon be launching 2 new products that will have even wider mass appeal. Rather than being just an exotic ingredient in a sushi bar, we want seaweed to become a staple of the American diet. $100,000 from Greenlight Maine will allow us to invest in larger and more automated machinery in order to keep up with the growing demand for our products. Thank you. And now I'll bring my partner Mitchell Lench out, and he'll help with the question and answers.
Thank you. Welcome, Marshall.
Oh, and he brings treats.
Oh.
And here's some samples.
There must
to
be
try
food
while we're answering your questions.
Great, thank you.
What is your relationship with seaweed? Why seaweed? And which came first, the aquaculture or the product?
I've been involved in aquaculture for a number of years, and we have another partner, Talif Olson, who's been kind of one of the grandfathers of the seaweed industry, started the first seaweed farms in the U.S. And Maine has an incredible comparative advantage in seaweed. It helps the marine economy, and it also has a great ecosystem here with the University of Maine, UNE, Bigelow Labs, so it's the perfect place to build a seaweed business. There is a lot of R&D that goes into farming new types of seaweed. So and our partner has a relationship with UNE, and he's worked with a lot of the research in terms of we have a new nursery where we are giving seed to farmers in the Gulf of Maine. And so that has a lot of science behind it. How do you do the nursery inside? But also we're looking for new year-round species that we can farm in the Gulf of Maine. They have to be native to the Gulf of Maine, but the farming techniques, there's a lot of new science that goes into that.
And talking about farming, how many people do you currently employ on your farms?
So we have our own farms. In which case Talif, and we have a couple of other people who work on the farms. But we also work with lobstermen and fishermen up and down the coast who are doing the farming because they have the gear. It's a great complementary business to what they're already doing. They already have the boats. They know how to work in the ocean. And also, given what's going on with some climate change issues, it's a great alternative type of business to be in. As a potential future product for them.
Are any of these varieties of seaweed considered invasive species? And so is there any issue there from a sustainability standpoint? And then related to that, there's a big red tide working its way north. So does that put you at risk from a production standpoint if the beds are, ruined by bacteria?
We're only doing native species and no invasive species. Not only is it not harmful to the ocean, but it actually reduces ocean acidification. If you farm seaweed and take that seaweed out of the ocean, it's a great carbon sink, and it also changes the acidity, which is impacting the shellfish industry right now. It's also just about the only zero input crop you can think of. It takes no fresh water, no pesticides, no fertilizer, and no other food that has to go in that's not already in the ocean.
In your opinion, what precludes a much wider adoption of this product in the United States?
It's about coming up with products that fit the American palate. You can't just take what's been done in Asia, which is far ahead in terms of the seaweed diet, and expect that everyone's going to catch on. So that's why we came out with seaweed sprinkles, for instance, it's a pretty wide array of people who like that, and we're working on we're about to launch a couple of new products, which we think are going to be very mainstream type of products. We want everyone to be eating seaweed and it to be incorporated into your daily diet and not just be an exotic food you would see in a sushi bar.
What are you looking at in the last year, let's say, in your gross and net sales?
We're on target for about $130,000 this year. And with the new supermarket chains we're bringing on, what they tend to do is start regionally and then expand. We think we'll be in the 300 to 400 range at least by next year, if not larger.
Great. Thank you both. We really appreciate your
Thank you.
presentation. Thanks a lot.
I don't know, but the idea of sprinkles to me is supposed to be chocolate jimmies. I'm not sure it's going to be the same, but I'm willing to try.
I am an eater of seaweed. I love seaweed. And I use sprinkles and eat it plain, and I think it's delicious.
Well, and what I like about this is, there is seaweed on the market. We've seen it out there.
Yep.
That they really are creating products that make it easy to incorporate it into your diet, into your cooking. It's not so daunting. Some of these seaweed, you see seaweed in packages and you think, I don't even know what to do with that. I know it's good for me, but I'm not sure how to use it.
They've taken what is normally just the sprinkle and packaged seaweed, which you're often wondering what to do with, and made it into very usable products that your average consumer can understand and try and enjoy.
Who would ever think about having seaweed fudge, right?
What makes me really excited about this company is that it solves so many problems in one shot. It solves local employment problems. It solves more global problems of ocean acidification, creating food with the growth of the population. Again, global problem. We need more food supplies, and this is non-impact and just sustainable all around.
They said that 90% of the seaweed I'm eating comes from elsewhere. And so they're going to start making that market right here, which reduces the carbon footprint.
That's a great play on Maine, right? Sort of, if you think of Maine as having a really strong maritime and fishing tradition, to have an agricultural approach to the coast, really takes advantage of our natural resources.
So it's uniquely suited to Maine.
To Maine.
They understand that one of the obstacles to consumer adoption, which I try to probe for, is lack of product variants that would appeal to the American palate.
The only thing I still I would like to have seen is a bit more of the business model. You know, the innovation is terrific, and I think that the product line is substantial, but at what cost? That's what part that I didn't see.
And their timing is right too, because they don't have to educate the consumer as much about about the benefits of seaweed. Consumers understand that now, but now again they're creating products that make it easy for you to.
I'm still skeptical about this. Look at the names. I mean, they've added the word sprinkle, which makes it feel American, but the rest of it is dulce, wakame, kombu. These are all Japanese words that are, you know, native to a population of people who already love seaweed, and so
I think you're right, and I think that's what they were saying, that they are going to actually have to do some consumer education, because the people who are already eating seaweed already understand this, but most people aren't. So their innovation is in creating products that people who are not eating seaweed can recognize and then try and use.
I have to say the fudge is really good.
And anyone want to sneeze?
Reaching new customers online is hard. You've tried Facebook, Google Ads, email. You even built a website 10 years ago. You're way too busy to focus on digital marketing, and you're not getting results.
At Dream Local Digital, that's what we do. We've helped businesses nationwide grow with online marketing. We're the experts. Let us help you.
We're very proud of the product we make and the way that we make it. The most important features of our original dog vest are in its design. Traditional lenders, you know, they steer away from unproven track records. In you come. Hold up. CEI gave us the opportunity to build a track record, show that our future path will be more solid than our past.
At Bangor Savings Bank, we know the value of making genuine connections with our customers, providing a memorable experience with every interaction. We are committed to doing the right thing and working as a partner with the people and communities we serve. With convenient mobile and online banking technology, we offer more ways for you to reach out to us. Because at Bangor Savings Bank, you matter more. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
After intense deliberation, our judges have tabulated their individual scores, and today's competitors are still in the running to make the final three. This means they may compete for the $100,000 in cash. Join us next week to see more inspiring Maine entrepreneurs.
Greenlight Maine would not be possible without the support of all of our corporate sponsors. Thank you.
Greenlight Maine has been a paid-for presentation by the Portland Media Group.